The Maldives is an iconic bucket list destination for so many people around the world. Unfortunately, we found ourselves on a tour where everything was very unexpected and even had some pretty sketchy wildlife practices. So we hope that we can give you enough information in this video so you can decide if you want to do this tour or not. Oh my goodness, I am so excited for the tour that we are doing today. We are going to be trying to swim with manta rays, dolphins, nurse sharks, stingrays. I'm so excited, maybe some turtles. It's going to be amazing, but we are running very, very late per usual, so we really got to go.
We made it in time. It's 7 in the morning and we got our fins and our snorkels and we're going out for 8 hours.
Such a long time. Our boat is coming to us. Looks kind of small. A lot of people.
Better get our spot first.
We made it onto the boat and we're headed south to the Vavu Atoll. I think our first stop is nurse sharks and stingrays. We made it to the point where the mantas usually are. We're actually doing the mantas first. Fingers crossed, I've literally been praying this whole boat ride that we would see them. They're flying the drone now to see if they could see any. Oh, I really hope that we get to swim with them. I'll actually be really sad if we don't.
It only took us about 10 minutes to get to this spot from Mafushi. I did not know that they were this close, so we'll just hang out right here and hopefully they're swimming around us and we can get in the water with them.
Still searching. I'm so nervous. Jacob's not as nervous as me.
I want to see them. He gave us about a 50% chance of seeing them today, but none right now. So we are going to move on to the nurse sharks and we're going to come back here later in the day to hopefully find them.
I always forget how terrifying it is when you're about to get in the water with sharks. Even though they're just nurse sharks, they're huge.
Nothing's going to happen.
I know it's fine. It's just like when you look down and you see them all circling and stuff, it's like, whew, you get a little like excited and nervous. Not nervous, I know it's fine, but even if they bite you, it's like this big, so no biggie. Okay, I got it. We just got out of the water and holy crap, there's so many sharks in there and they like brush right up against you. It's crazy. And there's this guy right here. He has a shark bite on his arm. I was like the whole time trying so hard to just like mind my own little space and not splash at all. But one time a shark went for our GoPro too. They're cheeky little guys. It's kind of scary sometimes.
It feels like there's unlimited sharks out there. There's so many of them swimming around, swimming underneath you, brushing up against you. Every time something brushed against me, I was like, what is that? And then I looked down. Sometimes it was a shark, sometimes it was somebody else's fin. And yes, one time I looked down in the water and our GoPro was dangling and a shark just like went up and tried to bite it. It's so crazy just being out there. They are feeding them and that's why there's so many in this area. So they're not all naturally here.
I will say they are feeding the sharks off the back of the boat. Not quite sure how we feel about that. I mean, obviously there's nurse sharks here. They're probably everywhere. They're just all congregating in this area. Don't know how I feel about that. Feels like it makes it maybe a little bit more dangerous because that guy got bit and they were like saying like you have to wear your fins or else the sharks are gonna bite your toes. So it's a little bit scary. As I'm editing this video a few months later in a much colder place. I would like to say that upon reflecting, I definitely think that they should not be feeding the sharks, especially when there's people in the water with the sharks. It definitely makes them more aggressive. They think that they're being fed. They're like hunting it because they're like being fed. So like it makes sense why this man got bit, and I definitely don't think that that's a safe practice. But pretty much every tour agency on this island and most of the islands in the Maldives were doing this. So I can't really blame this specific company that we were going with because everyone was doing it. So hopefully eventually everyone in the Maldives will stop this because it's dangerous and just bad for the animals. We are on the local island of Fuladu now. I did have to put on my whole thing because it's a local island, so you can't be in your bikini. So it's a little bit unfortunate because that means I can't really go in the water because I have this whole thing on, but that's okay. The water is stunning here and the sand is so white and beautiful. This is like truly paradise. It's amazing. We were supposed to go to a little sandbar, but the tide wasn't working, so it like disappeared or whatever. So now we're here and there's lots of stingrays like on the beach right here. Wow, this is so amazing. There is black tip reef sharks all over. There's stingrays all over. There's nurse sharks all over. This is so cool. This island is insanely beautiful. I guess this guy's waiting for some of the fish leftovers. Jacob's peeing right now, but he's making it look like he's taking GoPro videos.
When I'm out there just hanging out with the stingrays and the sharks, some of the stingrays, they'll just brush up against you and then keep swimming, and then some will just bump into me and they just won't move. They're just like hanging out by my leg.
There's one now. There it is.
There's a couple smaller sharks, but then there's one really big one that hasn't gotten too close to me yet.
Oh my gosh, there's a triggerfish. There's a triggerfish. Those are the meanest ones.
Oh, those are the ones with teeth that can bite you.
Oh, it was so zoomed in on your face.
Occasionally when we're scuba diving, we see the triggerfish and you can see their teeth.
Oh,
and
I just got our phones all wet.
Oh man, sometimes the triggerfish, yeah, you can see their teeth.
And they bite.
And they bite some people. Never bit us, but I'm gonna try to get a video of it.
All right, I think we're gonna have lunch now and then maybe hopefully try to find manta rays and dolphins. I'm gonna be so sad if we don't get to swim with either of them, to be honest. That was like the only reason I really wanted to do this tour. I feel like I'm being a bit of a downer, but I'm a little bit sad, to be honest. Got a cute little crabby. Oh, look at it. Oh, it's trying to pinch me. It is pinching me, but it's so cute it doesn't hurt. It's pinching me. Wait, that's so funny. It's pinching me so much. Look at its little pinchers.
So I'm sure the main reason why we stop at Fuladu is to see the stingrays and the sharks, and that was pretty cool, but also just the water is so blue, so clear, that makes it really fun to be here. Okay, so after we left the island of Fuladu, we started looking for dolphins. It was about a 20-minute trek to get there. Looked for about 3-5 minutes and we found out that there were no dolphins there, so we came to the Sandbar instead, and it was a pretty far trek from the boat. Let's see if we can find it in the camera. Yeah, the boat's out there and we had to walk through the ocean. Now we're here. We have our towels right here on the ground with my shirt because I'm gonna get really sunburnt, and we have sunscreen. And we're just hanging out here. Supposedly we're gonna eat lunch while we're waiting for other boats to check on the dolphins, and then they're gonna alert us if there's any. I really hope so. This day has been fun, but it's also been filled with all of the guides taking drone pictures of all the people that paid the extra money to do so. We didn't pay for the extra drone pictures, so we've just been standing around a lot, kind of doing our own thing. But there's a lot of people that did pay for them, so they're getting their drone pictures taken, and we're just hanging out and making the best of it.
This water is so beautiful and clear and blue. This is so nice. Oh man, I'm so hungry, I just shoved my face. We got rice and tuna with cut up apples, like a bunch of apples. And I'm not really an apple and rice kind of gal, but the tuna and the rice is really good. And I mean, the apples are good too. It's just like, I've never had a chopped up apples with rice before, so it's not really my jam, but the tuna is really good. Tour is definitely not for people who like really want to swim with the animals, because we looked for the dolphins for maybe 2 minutes. We looked for the manta rays for maybe 2 minutes, and the rest of the time is pretty much people taking drone shots. You like can pay $30 per person to get a bunch of drone pictures of you taken. And I would say like 80% of the tour has just been us being told, go over there, you're in the shot, move. We need to take the drone, people, whatever. So definitely do this tour if you want a lot of good drone pictures of you taken in the Maldives, because I'm sure they're beautiful. But if you're like Jacob and I and you really just wanted to swim with the animals, definitely would not use this tour company.
I also approve this message. And there's so many apples in here.
Why is there so many apples?
Eating a fruit salad with some rice.
So weird. Oh, there's the drone. Yeah.
We were hanging out over there and they told us to come over here.
Okay, final thoughts on the tour. I think it's definitely a good tour if you want to go take pictures and not really look for wildlife that much. You just want the nurse sharks to be there because they're being fed. Totally fine if you just want to go and take pictures. Jacob and I do that all the time, just not usually on a tour where we expected there to be like a lot of wildlife, and we never got to see mantas or dolphins. We got to swim with a lot of nurse sharks, which was cool, but I am sad. And also, I keep thinking about how that guy got bit by that shark. That was crazy. Like, yeah, I don't know. Be careful. It's wildlife, right? So you never really know what's gonna happen. I feel like that's why I try to be like really small in the water so they don't like attract to me. And when you're feeding them, they're a little bit more aggressive, I think, and they're just kind of shooting blind because they don't have that good of eyesight. So it was definitely a very interesting day. I am sad, but nothing heals the heart quite like pizza and Jesus. So we'll see you in the next one.